All right, welcome to my dynamic dimension guide. All right, where I show you how to set up the dynamic dimension in the architect. Basically, dynamic dimension is a dimension which can only be used for filter purpose. All right, note that, for filter purpose only. As opposed to normal dimension, where the value is pre-calculated for a record, the dynamic dimension will only be executed at runtime to obtain the matching record. So what does this mean? This means you do not need to high rebuild the table when you create and add in a dynamic dimension. Okay. So good examples or time to use dynamic dimension is when you would like to create a dimension to filter by, for example, IC number or by certain ID that is quite unique within the table. All right. For example, IC number within the patient table or episode number within the episode table. Right? Or you can even search by the primary key. All right, if you want to search by primary key, you can create a dynamic dimension for this purpose. Building a normal dimension, in this case, will normally, for this kind of unique field, will normally add time to rebuild. So sometimes you want to save time rebuilding, you can avoid creating normal dimension and try out dynamic dimension. Another reason is if you would only like to use the dimension for filtering purpose only, right? For example, like MRN or IC number dimension, where you have no need to analyze or build a pivot table using it, but rather just to filter, right? This is some of the examples. All right, before I move on to the step-by-step on how to create the dynamic dimension, I would like to highlight the prerequisite that you need to have knowledge in cashier object scripting, dollar orders, and the arrays in cashier object scripting. And you also need to know how data is being stored in the global backend. All right, to start, let's start with the guide. All right, to start, you need to first go to the architect. All right, and then of course you need to select a class. Click on select a class and select a class within it. After that, click on dynamic dimension tab, where you will be brought to this page, and then select, right click and select add line. All right, right click and select add line. Now enter the dimension name. For our case here, we will enter order number as an example. And description is not optional. You can basically, description is for the purpose of the technical person who create this dynamic dimension. All right, finally, the most important part is the script. All right, compulsory to key in is the dimension name and the script. For the script, this script for SpeedMiner to search and get the records for the results. For this script, there are basically three approach or ways to write this script for the dynamic dimension. The three approach differs at the different ways SpeedMiner will search and return the result when you pass in a parameter into the filter to search. Right? For example, you pass in, right, order number 13123. All right. This 13123 is passed in to the script, and then the script will use this 13123 value and search. So there are basically three ways to search. Right? I will highlight the three ways. The three approach differs at the different ways SpeedMiner will search and return the result when you pass in